Alright, so you bought your first recorder, something like the Zoom H1 Essential. Now, let me tell you about the accessories you might need in order to get the best out of your recorder. Now, without further ado, let's dig in. It might not seem like an accessory, but a necessity, but make sure you invest in a good memory card. Now, I'm gonna put in the description down below the approved memory cards from the official website. And I myself went for the SanDisk Extreme 128 gigabytes. Now, we all know that this recorder can actually record internally. You can use it as a mic. So if you're planning as using it as a mic, I would suggest getting you something like this. A wind muffler or like a dead cat like these, and these can actually eliminate any noise or hisses that can be picked up from the recorder while speaking or like talking to it. Now, if you are a wedding videographer, then using your recorder to actually get a high quality audio for the reception or the ceremony is a must. And in order to do so, these are the two most important cables that you're gonna need to actually have on your toolkit. 1/4-inch cable like that and an XLR cable like this. So these two cables will get you by in 95% of the times. If you went up to the DJ and asked him what kind of cable do you need from me in order to hook up your recorder to his board or like the speaker, 95% of the times he's gonna tell you either an XLR or a 1/4-inch. So just make sure to have these two cables in your toolkit. You're gonna need them. Now, of course, you're gonna have one end with the 3.5 millimeter that will go in your, that will go in your mic over here, and then the other end will either have the 1/4-inch or the XLR. Something that I have and I buy every time I get a new piece of equipment, and it's not a necessity at all, but it's just something that I have for most of my gear, which is a hard shell case like this one. So you got a ton of generic products like these. I don't care honestly, but it makes me comfortable just tossing my mic inside my bag, knowing that nothing will ever happen to it. And also it comes with another compartment where like you can store different bunch of accessories as well. So in this case, I put the mic over here and then I go for the muffler and the dead cat in the other compartment like this. Now, the next accessory that you're gonna need is a headphone or like a headset like this one. Now, it really doesn't matter. Just get yourself any cheap headphone that you can find. If you picked up something from the gas station, it'll do the job. Because at the end of the day, remember, this recorder is a 32-bit float recorder. So we're not gonna really like use the headphone to actually adjust the gains or anything. We just want to monitor, not even monitor in the sense of monitoring, but like we need to make sure that we're recording. We need to make sure that our recorder is not picking up any noises. You're not hearing any weird sound that you shouldn't be hearing, right? So that's literally the only reason of getting something like this. That's why I'm saying you don't have to get high quality headphones or whatever. Just get the cheapest. If you have an old one, like with an old wired one like that, just use it. It'll do the job. And the last thing that I can actually recommend is getting yourself something like this, like a small tripod like that. And the reason that you're gonna want to get yourself something like that is to actually hook up your mic to it. Now remember, if you're gonna use the recorder to actually record yourself, you're gonna use the recorder as a mic, and let's say you're using it in some sort of a setup like this, right? You don't want to put your recorder on the desk. You don't want your recorder to touch any kind of surface because it's gonna pick up vibrations and it's gonna affect the audio quality. So you want to elevate your recorder a little bit from whatever surface you're planning on putting it onto to minimize those vibrations, thus getting the best out of it in terms of quality. So getting a tripod like that and direct it to yourself is gonna assure you that you're getting the best audio quality possible. Now, I'll link everything I talked about today in the description, and please let me know if you have any question about the stuff that I use or about the recorder itself. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.